Why do a lot of people in, say, Ghana or Nigeria or elsewhere in Africa associate financial success with black magic or corruption or dubious activity? What is wrong with this mindset?
People have not really understood the way we go about business or the way we make money. So because they are lazy enough not to learn, or they've not been exposed, everyone wants an easy way out. Let's attribute it to something.
In order for you to excel, you will stand out. And that's why people doubt. I am selling the same tomatoes you are selling. Why are you richer than me? We all went to the same school, studied the same course, did everything together, but it seems you are getting higher than myself. Then the doubt comes in that you might be using something I am not.
What people will say about you wouldn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you know the goal you are heading to.
The resources in the earth is for every one of us. So the land has been given to everyone. All of us, we have access to everything that exists on here. There is external forces that backs people to be rich. If you're a youth, there is an opportunity for you to be wealthy, no matter what people say. If you rely on what people say, then you miss out on what you really need. You came alone on this earth. God gave you a purpose and an assignment for you to achieve. And you allow people's words stop you from being what you really want to be. I don't know, at the end of everything, then you go back to your creator that gave you the gift and everything. What will you say?
That people will come to you just to drain you. Because they know you have money, they will come to you every day, pour their burden on you, come for your money, okay? With no real intention of trying to make themselves better.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to thank you so much for making time to join us for today's discussion. My name is Atu Apia. So if you live in Africa, or maybe let's say Ghana, Nigeria, and then there's this person living in your community and the person is like kind of rich, the common knowledge about the person would be that that person actually became successful as a result of maybe corruption, dubious means, or probably black magic or juju, right? Hardly do people correlate or associate success with hard work. After all, there always has to be something extra, right? Because like the argument is the Kayayu man who carry the goods for the market woman works hard, and even the laborer who also work with pickaxe works even harder. So the question is, where did this mindset come from? How is it affecting us as people, and how can we overcome this, or what can we do to overcome this cultural taste for poverty? Once again, my name is Atu Api, and today I'm joined by Mr. Achampon and Mr. Harold Tobias. They're going to help me dissect this issue to the best of their knowledge. I hope you enjoy this conversation. I know it's going to be very, very beneficial to you. But before we go on, please, if you're not part of this family, I want you to be part of this family. I need you to subscribe to the channel. I also want you to be part of this conversation by leaving your thoughts in the comment section. Also, make sure you hit the notification button so that anytime we drop a new video, you'll be notified. All right, so thank you so much and welcome, people. Mr. Achampon.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then Mr. Tobias.
Thank you.
I'm so very grateful for you guys, making time out of your time to be here. I don't take it lightly, and I appreciate your stuff. So now, the discussion is going to be on business and then faith or belief, and probably we'll look at the social mindset about, becoming successful, becoming wealthy in probably in an African setting, or versus faith. Spiritual beliefs like maybe Christian or any kind of religion. So my first question for today would be that why do a lot of people in, say, Ghana or Nigeria or elsewhere in Africa associate financial success with black magic or corruption or dubious activity? What is wrong with this mindset?
We can also link it to blessings from God too.
Okay.
Right. I think the whole idea is not entirely wrong, in my opinion.
Okay.
That people can attribute these things to blessings from God, like supernatural powers and all that. As a person who I'm a Christian, so I believe in the power of God. So I believe that the power of God is able to give me an advantage. However, I feel like the story is not holistic.
Okay.
Like, people read the Bible and they read a portion that will make them happy. That, okay, I guess we want the blessings of God. So before I dive into that point, I also want to digress a little bit and say that, okay, the reason why we've gotten to this point is because people have not really understood the way we go about business or the way we make money. So because they are lazy enough not to learn, or they've not been exposed. Everyone wants an easy way out. Let's attribute it to something.
Okay.
And the attribution is not entirely wrong, but it's not the whole picture too. Because I mean, I will still make those points ahead of time. I'm pretty sure there'll be opportunity, because when you read the Bible did not condone laziness in any way. The Bible, I believe that as a Christian, God gives me an advantage over my peers. However, He doesn't require me to be lazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Chapman.
Okay, so quickly, in our part of the world and those society that you mentioned,
Okay.
one common denominator or factor is how difficult it is for people to make it in life. It's very difficult. So when someone stands out and make it, there is that kind of, how did you do it?
How did you
Because
do it?
we all started on a playing field.
Yeah.
It's a part of the world where poverty is rampant.
Okay.
So in order for you to excel, you will stand out. And that's why people doubt. I am selling the same tomatoes you are selling. Why are you richer than me? We all went to the same school, studied the same course, did everything together, but it seems you are getting higher than myself. Then the doubt comes in that you might be using something I am not. That's the first point. Now, the second point, the reason why people actually attribute juju and all those things to other people is because of the relationship that exists between those that don't have and those that have. For instance, an ant.
Okay.
The Bible says that they are even very hardworking.
Okay.
What they do is, a lot of them go out in search of food that have fallen, some sugar or whatever. And what they do is they will pick it up and they will pass the job to each other. So then each of them carries a bit of it and they go together and they end up feeding each other. The reason why people attribute other forces to people's wealth is because of the poor relationship that exists between the rich and then the poor.
Okay.
The rich tends to look down on them. The rich tends to show off as against them. And then they will be like, then you might be using something because you want power. We come from a family where if you don't have, you don't say. If you don't have money, you don't have power.
Yeah.
And you have money and you are exerting the power over us. So then people will just attribute that as for you, you don't qualify, you might be using something, and then it pushes away the ideology of hard work a bit behind. But if people now understand that you need to work smart, you need to work hard, you need to be diligent at what you do, then I think that notion of a spiritual force behind success dies down. I personally, being a very sound Christian, I personally don't really merge religion with wealth. Unbelievers could be wealthy, believers could be wealthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your submission. For the role of this stigma on people trying to become successful, because in our culture we've been taught that good name is better than riches, right? And so we pay attention to some of these titles or some of these names that are given to people who are successful. And how will this stigma impact the community? How will it impact people in their drive to become successful in a society, or even pursue certain careers or businesses, should I say?
Taking it from the Christian point of view first,
Okay.
Having a comprehensive knowledge of what my Bible tells me, that God is always going to give me that advantage, and also going to bless my efforts as a hard worker, going to bless me with the wisdom that I need. I don't think that's going to deter me from going for more or striving to make it or be wealthy. I don't think that's going to deter me in any way. I think the problem will be with those who are unfortunate enough not to know this. So let's say in a community where, let's say, talking about example, for instance, you mentioned that the politician, that politics. People don't want to venture into politics with the idea that if they go in, they're supposed to do corrupt things. I think it's to a point that I stand is true, in the sense that it's going to be difficult for someone who is a staunch Christian to survive in that atmosphere, because people are doing bad things in there. However, I believe that someone who is a staunch Christian can still move into that sphere with that comprehensive knowledge I'm talking about here. That I know that God is going to bless my efforts. God is going to bless my effort of being a hard worker. So even if I move into those spaces and I'm being attacked, okay, I will do my work, I will do my best. If I'm being attacked, if the corruption comes my way, I'll do my best to avoid it.
Okay, so what you're saying is, in effect, what people will say about you wouldn't matter.
It doesn't matter if
Okay.
you know the goal you are heading to. Like let's take the juju for instance. Let me go to the juju for instance. Okay, someone who let's say who has been in poverty for so long. Okay, and he has found a way to make money. And you are saying that, okay, if I become rich, people are going to say I'm doing juju. Do you think that's going to deter the person from going for the money? No. See, the struggle and the fights against poverty, not your opinions.
Okay.
So I think if you reframe the question and put it in a way that, okay, religion as there's a very powerful quote that is the opium of the masses. Okay, it makes you relax and put the whole advantage onto, like, okay, you become dependent on the external forces. If you put it that way, then I say that can be something that can inhibit people.
To what you were saying, so don't you think that mentality of God actually
inhibits
people from,
I think so. I agree with you, but not entirely.
Okay.
Why? Because I said that if you are someone who learns the Bible comprehensively, you get to know that, okay, God blessed Isaac so much, okay, but he had to dig a well to drink. He dug 3 wells. He dug and people opposed him. He dug and people opposed him, and he dug again. But God has blessed this man. God has blessed Abraham,
okay,
but he had to work so hard too. Okay, not to.
Yeah, I get it.
In the Bible, we see God told Noah that He's going to save him. If he hadn't built the ark, he would have died.
You see, it's interesting. Okay, so it's interesting. It's interesting how you are like sort of saying all of these things, but these are, I would say, maybe one in a million case. Well, maybe we could have a lot of argument, but I can also argue that there are people who don't believe in God. Like even right now, we have Bill Gates, we have a lot of atheists. They don't care.
I'm in no way saying that hard work doesn't pay.
Okay,
I'm agreeing with the fact that, okay, people without believing the God factor.
Don't you think that the reason why people actually do attribute success and wealth to corrupt ways, juju, is because of the belief they believe in an external force? So it kind of downplays our ability, our capabilities as human beings.
It's because of ignorance.
Because of ignorance.
Yes, because as I was using the Bible scenario here, okay, people will stick to that God factor that, okay, God will bless me. All that I have to do is to be a good child, pray and everything. That's not force. God blesses effort. Okay, when you read Proverbs, okay, it talks about the fact that diligent hands is going to I don't remember the exact words though, okay, but it talks about people that work are going to profit, but mere talks leads towards poverty.
Okay, so what do you have to say?
So the answer to the question is yes, because when we were growing up, there's a lot of example of people that are rich, people that are politicians, and our parents will use it as an example that I want you to study, I want you to, so that you be like this person. Then the more that you go, you hear issues about corruption and be like, I also don't want to be like this because people will seem like I'm also corrupt. I remember I was handling money, just handling people's money and all. Okay. And I was moving about doing a lot of things. So I think I got my clothes a bit sold. And one of the members, those members that are mobilizing their funds for, told me that, but you are handling money. Why can't you use the money to maybe look good? And I was like, so there's that kind of mentality that if you are handling money, you are handling politics, you are in politics, there's that expectation that same society they just attribute you with. But like he said, it is not always the case. You know where you are going, you know your purpose, you also know your destiny. Okay. So you fight, passes through that stigma. So it's real that people have that stigma, being afraid that their wealth will be attributed to external forces. And like I said, if you look through scriptures, there's a playing field. Okay. The world, Earth is not the largest planet on the earth. It's one of the smallest. The resources in the earth is for every one of us. So the land has been given to everyone. All of us, we have access to everything that exists on here. On that same earth, we have diamond. That doesn't belong to anyone because it was a level play field. We have gold. That doesn't belong to anyone. All of us came to meet all these resources around us.
Yeah.
Is the smartest, the one that is diligent, the one that has passion, plus hard work. That will be able to discover the route to success. Maybe he discovered the gold first, so it becomes his.
Right.
But then we all started from a playing field. That's why God told Adam that you have dominion over everything that I've given is yours. So it is literally for us. But remember the curse of Adam. He said that this ground, I curse it. So that same place you are supposed to have dominion over, he has been cursed for you to be hard work in order to earn. So if you don't work hard, you don't get it. So that is the level ground. But that doesn't also have to say that there is no forces. There is external forces that backs people to be rich. There is evidence to it. There is also the spiritual God side of God making rich. Because the Bible says that it's the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich and adds no sorrows to it.
That's right.
So there is that God factor, like he said, Jacob, all those people, they were rich. So it exists. So spiritism to make you wealthy exists. The scriptural or Bible way to be rich exists. Then there is hard work. So then you have to look at the fact that will you do the juju side, or you will trust in God, or you take the route of hard work. So then the stigma exists. But what's your reaction to the stigma? Are you going to work your way out and acquire the resource that is available unto us? So if viewers can just look at things around us, if you're a youth, there is an opportunity for you to be wealthy, no matter what people say. If you rely on what people say, then you miss out on what you really need. You came alone on this earth. God gave you a purpose and an assignment for you to achieve. And you allow people's words stop you from being what you really want to be. I don't know, at the end of everything, and you go back to your creator that gave you the gift and everything, what will you say? That someone was saying that if I become rich, that's what
I'm going to be stigmatized.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah. Thank you.
So I also would like to give still on the social perception or perspective about rich people. So like when you read this book, The Merchant and the Monk, an interesting story happens. So the guy, the merchant, like one guy was a merchant, married, and then the wife's brother came to him wanting to borrow money, and he told the guy, how are you going to be able to pay me back? The guy said, I'm going to do this business, I was like, how are you going to be able to pay me back this money? Because whatever you're talking about is not variable, right? And I see that you'll not be able to pay me, because the guy was a merchant and he could actually analyze everything. At the end of the day, he didn't give him the money. And then, sort of, there was a confusion. They were not in good terms again. Now, this is what the man said. If I give you the money, I'll lose my relationship with you. I'll lose my money. If I don't give you the money, I'll lose my relationship with you. I'll give my money. So he had to make a choice. Now, what I'm trying to drive at is, in the African setting, when you're trying to build wealth, because of the poverty, people will be parasites. People will come to you. How do you handle that?
Start from this. We already start with this. That's a big one.
So that's a very good question. I mean, for instance, there are two ways that you can define parasite. I'm not a scientist or a health person, but let's look at the two ways of defining parasite.
Yeah.
It's an organism that benefits from you. That what you are doing is good, but then he will take the benefit and then even give you something that is not really good.
Right.
Like an organism can also mean that he's taking a lot of benefit from you, but then he's also giving you a level of benefit as well as maybe hurting you in a way. Scientifically, it depends on the baby within the womb. Some babies can actually be parasites to their mothers, and if you don't take care, you might lose the mother, and some babies will be saved. But then there's also the scientific proving that babies being in the womb of a mother is also like kind of good to the mother, despite all the symptoms and all that. So what I would say is, yes, the parasite exists because there's a lot of poor people around. What is your reaction to what people are saying? I came from the masses of the poor people that seems to be a bit parasitic to the rich people. That's where I was born. So I can really relate to it. I have issue with the way rich people relate with the poor. And that's where it stems up the parasites. No? They use the poor people a lot. If you become rich in our part of the world, Ghana or Boise to be specific, it's like people feel like they are ahead of you, so they misuse you. How can you employ someone as a company, you are making profit over $1 million, and then the salary of the poor person? No, how will you want them to relate with you treating them bad? So then the fault doesn't only go to the parasite or the poor people. The rich also has an issue that they are not really dealing with. So then those of us that want to be rich people, how do we deal with it? Don't treat poor people bad. Never speak against poor people. You are rich, you have, they don't have. It is now your turn to be good to them. If I am rich and people becomes parasite, instead of me also becoming parasitic to them by insulting them and looking down on them, I'll take a different route. There are a lot of rich people in our society that command respect. The moment they see the person, because of a good heart, because the person has been good, because the person, despite the wealth, the person is treating them so well, the poor people will be like, as for this man, his wealth, he is still a good person. So they will not treat that person bad. And that's what those of us that aspire to be rich, we need to look at. We need to be rich, wealthy, successful with a difference. How?
That's right.
By not treating people that are below us bad. If you do, the kind of pressure they will give you, you might not like it. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you have to add?
So I think I'll answer the question from a different way.
Okay.
But I think what you're saying earlier on stems from a deeper fundamental of capitalism and communism. I agree with what he's saying that capitalism makes it hurts the masses, the poor, right? And some it can be. I mean, anyone who is deliberately underpaying workers, it's a bad thing. It's a morally unethical thing. Okay, so despite the fact that it's capitalism, the rich, I mean, he brought the capital. He's supposed to make more money than you. It doesn't mean that they're supposed to be not paid well. However, I will take it from the angle of that there's those parasitic relationship. Okay, take for instance a young man who has, and it's not uncommon and it's not bad necessarily because of where we're coming from. Okay, because assuming you're a young man who has risen in your family. Okay, your family was going to be dependent on you, and that form of parasitic relationship is necessary and important. Okay, you are the elders of your family. Okay, you're having your younger ones, your whole family dependent on you because you're a rich one. Yeah, you should help them.
But don't you think that also kills
I'm getting there.
building?
Yeah, I'm getting there. But that's what I'm saying, that okay, you should what it should be. There are two forms of, I'll define it in two ways: the necessary parasitism and the unnecessary ones. Okay, once there are people, external people, okay, or people not necessarily external people, okay, but there are people who come to you just to drain you because they know you have money. They will come to you every day, pour their burden on you, come for your money, okay, with no real intention of trying to make themselves better. They know that okay, every month if I come to you, I'm getting more money. I'm getting money from you. They have used as a budget, okay. They'll come to you. Those who want a relationship, don't entertain them. Don't entertain them. But like with the situation of family, okay, you're supposed to help family, or not necessarily family, okay, but there are people out there that are supposed to help them, okay. Help them, but also show them the way out. Don't just give them money. Show them how to manage the money. Show them how to start a business. And by doing that, you take a lot of burden from yourself, and what you even create more people like you, and the society becomes better. Okay, so yes, parasitism can bring you down. Okay, and as a young man too, when you're starting up, you're supposed to know how it's supposed to help your people. Okay, because yeah, for sure, you all keep out from poverty. Okay, but if you decide to like wake up and use one day use all your money to help everyone, you become like them.
Okay.
So you need to manage your money well as a steward. God is giving you the money, or wherever you're getting the money from. You need to be a good steward. Manage your money well. Help people, but make sure that you can only rise when you're standing. You can only help people when you're standing.
Okay. You can only help people when only help people when you're standing. Or people who are on the floor.
Yeah, you can help them rise when you're standing.
Rise when you're standing. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So this is I want to ask this question. Maybe this would be probably our last but one question. So it is generally in Ghanaian setting, probably due to experiences, or like let me say Ghanaian setting. I think that generally over the world, it's very difficult for black people to come together and do business, and even more so, if you want to employ people maybe that you share the same faith with, specifically Christianity. I happen to work back in Ghana with someone, and obviously I did go to church back in Ghana. And one of the things that the person told me about was like he has conversation with other people, and then the person will like, are you still working with these guys from your church? You understand? Why do you think that it's very difficult to sometimes, I don't think it's all the time, but difficult for people who share the same faith, but at least in our setting, what we know, it's difficult for people to kind of work together?
I think I'll take it from the point of view that it's because of that wouldn't necessarily happen. I don't know so much about other races, okay, but to a large extent, I know people out of the African community, okay. Sometimes they're able to do business because of their upbringing and cultural values, okay. For our cultural values, we live in a community system, okay. We believe in, you're my family, I'm supposed to treat you well. Like, even when you're stealing from me, okay, I'm supposed to just forgive you and let it go. You're going to change. Like, you know how we were brought up, okay, in a community system where we frown upon a stringent relationship among ourselves. Like, even when you are doing something bad to me as a family member or a community member, I'm supposed to give it less weight and still accommodate you. But when it comes to the Western world, see, we are family. But assuming you're coming to employ my services, okay, you are paying me full amounts. I mean, I can give you a discount, but this is my business, okay? When it comes to personal relationship, we can have personal relationship, but when it comes to business, yeah, it's business. So if you steal from me, you're going to prison. Okay. But in our part of the world, if you steal from me, you call my uncle to come meet my uncle at home. We settle the keys. I'll still employ you and give you advantage, okay?
So that's the reason why people sort of act the way they act, like they wouldn't want to engage in those kind of things.
That's the reason why people wouldn't want to do business with family.
Okay.
Because
so I want you to also answer this, and then maybe you merged both. Do you think that poor people feel entitled to rich people's money in our setting?
The same way,
because I think you made mention about the fact that you were talking about rich people should supposed to support poor people. You're supposed to do that. But reverse, do you think that poor people feel? I mean, in our culture, like poor people feel entitled to?
Hunger will make you entitled.
Okay.
So yes, to some extent, some people, and it's not like they necessarily feel entitled always. Okay, but it's coming from a need. If you're hungry, what are you going to do? Okay, but I agree with the sense of entitlement where it's like they always expect you, even when you don't have, they want you to, even if it's your last piece, they want to give it to them, then that becomes a problem. And it's coming from a deeper value of like our community system, okay? We all grew up, okay, in a community-based family where like your uncle will help you, someone will help you. So it's like if you grow up and you decide to separate yourself and be like, okay, I don't want anyone to be entitled to my money or something, it becomes a problem. It's like an outlier. So I'm supposed to fight them. Okay. So entitlement in general won't be a good thing because everyone's supposed to give what they can, but you're not supposed to like really be entitled to like anything.
Okay. So like you answer both questions.
That's very good. It's a lot of in-depth question. I'm looking at, you can pick it from so many angles, but then you have to be specific in order to get a question answered. Okay, but I was studying biblical terms. There was a difference between Dives, the rich man, and Lazarus. His name is Dives. So the rich man and Lazarus. So the rich man will eat, and the crumbs that falls under his table, he never asks Lazarus to pick it up. But Lazarus goes and pick it up. And the Bible didn't say that was the reason why he went to hell, but he went to hell because he didn't believe and all that. But you can see that kind of a bit of injustice. Oh, there was a poor man sitting at your gate, and then you are allowing him to feed on the food that falls on the ground. Why don't you employ him? So then what we do, the rich people do, is instead of me giving you a lot of money every month, you ask me for money, I'd rather set up a company, then I'll employ you inside, without really thinking whether you are skilled, trained, your CV qualifies and all that, because you are taking a lot of money every time. But I want to rather give you a handiwork so that you can maybe get paid by working for me.
Right.
So that's the angle. And poor people or those that are not having enough should appreciate that level of help.
Right.
Because a lot of poor people are not having it. Secondly, the rich people should realize that if you are living in a poor society, that you have made it, perhaps through businesses, you are literally selling to the poor people. So in a way, you are still in business with the poor people around, making you richer. I don't know if my concept is made available.
Yeah.
You are rich in the midst of poor people, and perhaps you are in business selling. You could be selling cars, you'll be selling appliances, you'll be selling so many things that you are. It means the poor people around you are literally your customers or your clients that you are dealing with. Now, if you are rich and then you treat people well, they can drain you of your finances, but the good name is not gone. And if anything happens,
what's if they train you and you fall? You become like them.
You see, the
Good name will still help you rise.
Exactly. Good name is powerful than the money you have. For instance, let me do an example. I know a lot of disagreement.
No, so
let me make this emphasis. Businesses doesn't exist for profit. They don't exist to make more money or profit. They exist to transform society, but you need profit to do it.
I don't agree with you.
so to provide value, and then you get money for the value.
Yeah. So for instance, if I want to be a businessman, I need to influence society, influence people, maybe selling a goods to people or helping society or whatever.
Right.
But I'll need money
To do that.
to do it more often.
Yes.
But then there is nothing that changes the purpose. The purpose is do something for society. That's the purpose.
Yeah.
And then you need to strive harder in sales to get more profit. If you are in a very good standing business and then you somehow run at a loss, there's always a way to bounce back. There is. And then if you can't fault the fact that you are being generous or good. That's why your money has been drained.
Okay.
On the reverse, if you help people, help pay someone's school fees, and the person is able to get PhD and do so well, the person will never forget the good thing that you did for the person. You will die and go. Your children will come. They may not be as rich as you, but then people will see your good works. People easily in our part of the world will remember your good deeds more than the money you had.
Right.
In our world, not in any other society. Other societies, they are ranking. But in our world, they will remember how good you were. And the reason why they will not be a parasite to you is because of your good works. And even if you reject someone's employment or you reject being good to people, because they know your track record of being generous or helping out, everybody will even back you up. In our part of the world, like you read, if you are rich and you are generous, you are good, you treat people well, the poor people will push you to be more richer. But if you are totally rich and ignore the poor people and be like me, I want to make more money, it's all about myself, it's all about my family and me gaining more and more, everybody around that society are already poor. They're already jealous of you. That gives them a lot of energy to go against you. So the principle still stands. There's a lot of ways that you can read around it. Lazarus could have been employed by the rich man so that the rich man doesn't have to really make him feed from the ground. But when Lazarus gets the job, Lazarus realizes that you don't even qualify or deserve that employment. So then I would rather do my best to push my boss to be richer so that I can even get my daily bread. And also note, if you are good on someone, pushing people up, that will also be a guarantee for other people to also push you up. So that is a concept I'm coming from.
I just want to make a comment to what you say. What I also think that there should be a fine balance between you striving or you trying to depend on goodwill only to this life. Okay, see, I'm a testament of goodwill. I've had a lot of people come into my life to help me because of things my parents did at a point in time. I'm a testament of goodwill. Goodwill is good, okay, but I also think that living your life entirely in the hands of people is not the safest way to go. Be generous, help people, okay, do things like be a rich man who help people, okay, but at that same time, don't don't do it to the point that, okay, like you're just dependent on Goodwill. And he's saying that companies are built on, yes, every company is formed based on her. And I believe that when he forms a company, he's someone as a very like someone he is someone that will value the value he's giving to society more than the money he's getting from
making.
it. Yes. And these are all like personal reasons why people will quit companies. Okay. But I think for the most part of capitalism, people, I think there should be a fine balance between you transforming your society, okay, but at the same time you also what making profit. Because if you take away the profit from there, people wouldn't strive to quit companies too. You are generous enough, you are human enough that way to do it for people. But if you take away the benefits people are going to get from they creating companies to help the poor,
okay,
they won't come.
Okay.
And that will break society too. I think there should be a fine balance there.
Okay. All right. So I think that the conversation is getting interesting, but we don't really have much time, so we want to end there. Maybe sometime in the future I would continue this conversation, because I think that there are a lot of questions a lot of stuff that we can actually talk about. I just want to thank you for making time with us. Then again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, I just would like you to subscribe to the channel, become part of this family. You know, you will learn a lot, and make sure you be part of this conversation by leaving your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to share and then like. My guest for today has been Mr. Achampon, or Brother Kisley, and then Mr. Harold Tobias. Thank you once again for being with us, and you out there, just be good, stay safe.